TikTok is under major scrutiny. The Biden administration has just placed TikTok under the microscope due to their fear of the vulnerability of data user information provided by TikTok. TikTok having more than 150 million users worldwide. The TikTok CEO Shou Chu just had his first congressional meeting here in the US regarding the security and safety of the application itself. But what US representatives admitted to and revealed about the influence and power behind social media is gonna blow you away. Let's get to it. I'm telling you, the algorithms for Jesus. Hey, what's up, YouTube family? It's your friendly neighborhood PB back with another episode here on the channel. And man, I just hope and pray that each episode is bringing you closer and closer to Jesus. Now listen, before we dive into today's episode, why don't you do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is a free way that you can help support this channel by pushing the algorithm and expanding our reach. Like we like to say on this channel, the algorithm belongs to Jesus. All right, let's dive right in. Today's episode is super interesting. Maybe you've already heard what's going on. It's being blasted on all media outlets that TikTok is currently being heavily scrutinized by the Biden administration for their fear of the lack of safety over the data user collection that's happening with the application. The reason being is that TikTok has more than 150 million users worldwide. That's a lot of people. And the majority of those users are actual United States citizens. So their fear is that because TikTok has ties towards China, that this data that's being collected can ultimately land in the wrong hands and be used against the United States in the near future. Well, because of this fear, the U.S. decides to hold a congressional hearing where they call forth the CEO of TikTok, Mr. Chu, to respond to their concerns over the data user collection. Well, this meeting lasted 5 hours. I mean, I watched the entire thing, but there was one portion that I just couldn't believe was being publicated, and it was out of the mouth of a United States rep named Daniel Crenshaw from Texas. He reveals the power and influence behind media. And the reason why he revealed it was to come against the CEO of TikTok to display that, hey, because China has so much of a grip of influence on United States citizens, they can push a narrative or they can push Chinese interests on our people. And it was crazy because what he was actually saying was, hey, we don't want you to have that power. We want to keep that power. Man, let's watch this together. I have it ready and clipped for you. And tell me what you think.
Point is this. I want to say this to all the teenagers out there and TikTok influencers who think we're just old and out of touch and don't know what we're talking about, trying to take away your favorite app. You may not care that your data is being accessed now, but it will be one day when you do care about it. And here's the real problem. With data comes power. They can choose what you see and how you see it. What? They can make you believe things that are not true. They can encourage you to engage in behavior that will destroy your life. Even if it is not happening yet, it could in the future. The long-term goal of the Chinese Communist Party is the demise of the American power, and that starts with our youth. At any moment, they could demand that all of TikTok's data be used to design an AI algorithm with the sole purpose of promoting Chinese interests and destroying our society from within.
Wow. This tells us that there is intentionality behind everything that we watch, everything that we listen to. Media has power. So if media has power, shouldn't we filter the access that we give media? If they're admitting to the fact that they utilize media to push an agenda or to push their narrative or their subjective truth, if they're admitting to it, why are we giving ourselves up to anything and everything? We watch everything and anything. We listen to any type of music. We watch any type of show, any type of movie. Hey, what's up, friends? Hope you've been enjoying the stream so far, and I pray that each and every stream brings you closer and closer to Jesus. Here's 2 ways that you can help this channel: by liking, commenting, and subscribing. This helps us push the algorithm so that it can expand our reach. Like we like to say here, the algorithm belongs to Jesus. The second way is by partnering with this ministry financially. Below in the description box, you'll find several ways that you can do that, such as becoming a monthly partner. This enables us to continue doing what we're already doing here on all social media platforms. Let's get back to the stream. I'm telling you, the algorithms for Jesus. We're fans of any type of musical artist because the beat was nice, or maybe they're just extremely talented, but we can care less about the message, about the substance, about what's actually behind the curtains. And here's Mr. Daniel Crenshaw reminding us that there is a power behind media. I mean, we see it all the time, especially in the music industry. Pushing a narrative and pushing an agenda on young people who are highly influenced by these individuals. When you first become a new employee to a facility and they give you what's called a key fob, what they're giving you is a thing called access. So because you've been hired and because you're now an employee of that business, the building is accessible to you. So they give you a key card so that you can scan your way through different portions that isn't necessarily open to the general public. Only employees can enter employee rooms. It's called access. That means there is power behind access. Access equates to authority. Why are we giving ourselves up to everything and anything? We are giving key fobs to musical artists that shouldn't have access to our heart, to our minds, to our souls. We are giving access to shows that are highly influencing us without us even knowing, and we're giving them employee benefits, but they don't work there. Too many of us are giving key fobs out to everything and anything when we have to be intentional in our living and say, wait a minute, I can't be subject to these kind of things. I can't be subject to this type of music because every time I hear this type of music, it makes me depressed or it gives me anxiety. I mean, it is endless the amount of influence that media, musical artists, YouTube channel, podcasters have over us as a generation, whether it's through symbolism, whether it's through manipulation of music. I mean, the list goes on. Access is authority. Check this out. In 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4 says, Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the mind of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is exact likeness of God. Satan is the God of this world, and we are trusting this world with our home, with our ears, with our eyes, with our mind. But the Bible is telling us that Satan is the God of this world. So why are we not filtering what we allow in our homes, in our minds, in our hearts? When Mr. Crenshaw is admitting to us that the United States has the ability to push an agenda, to push a narrative, and I can tell you right now, the U.S. is slowly but surely becoming such a liberated state that we have liberated ourselves from the truth of the gospel. We were once under God, and now we are under man. In 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, the Bible says to be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. The Bible in 1 Peter 5:8 is reminding us that we have to be alert and sober-minded, meaning our head has to be on a swivel. We have to constantly be monitoring and filtering as we navigate in this world that we don't belong to. We are citizens of heaven. As a Christian, as a mature Christian, we should have filters. As a mature Christian, we should be slow to accept everything and anything, because what we don't know is the powers that are operating behind those tools, like media. The Bible in Ephesians reminds us that we don't wage war against flesh and blood, but against what? Powers, principalities, and the kingdom of darkness. I could tell you what, if there's one thing that the enemy is using against the people of God, it's media. So if there is one thing that we should be careful with using, careful with hearing, and careful with seeing, is media. I'm telling you, the algorithms for Jesus.